Hello and welcome to another Let's Play. Me, GamerWolfSix of the Smoke Room. Before we start, if you're interested in playing this game, you can get it free on itch.io. But if you want to support the people that make this game and or get the news version earlier, you can go to their Patreon, where it's $3 a month for this and other games. So, now in the last Let's Play, we went to the Hip, where we talked with Dora. Know about advice. Maybe she knows who might have told Mr. Hendricks about us and Nick, and she suspected different people, like, you know, William, one of the miners, maybe one of the girls, who knows. Also, Willie might be in a room, so we just kind of yeeted out of the Hip and went to the Stag. Sorry, and talked about different things like unions. But it looks like some people just came into the Stag. People that we don't seem to like too much. Or at least they don't. Is there a set face? My bet here is... oh, maybe Union Busters? Who knows? It could either be higher-ups, the higher-ups like Mr. Hendricks and whatnot, maybe people that don't like unions in general, or it could be William, you know, the co-op is reset face. The bear, the jackrabbit, and the wolverine knows them too. Notices their bulge? It's a small crowd coming through. God damn it, not tonight. Also, did we get past 1 minute? Yeah. They may not notice us. The floppy-eared dog, with the golden fur, wearing overalls, points to us from the crowd. You were saying? The dog and one of his friends make their way up the ladder, as the rest of the group disappears into the crowd and the bar. He meets us with a swagger and a bouncing step. What's the matter, old man? Pouring one out for your weary bones? Just mourning for the patience in me, slowly dying. Say it with me. 20 pounds of silver. We got 10% split between the lot of us, and not a lick for you. That would cover the cost of your tombstone, alright? Why can't you admit I was right and you were wrong? Because you could have died. Oh, I guess this is the guy that was in the mines and stayed there even though the canary went kaput. But we didn't, and we're richer for it. The wolverine stood up and punched the dog in the face. The dog spun an entire 360 degrees before he fell over and crashed into a barrel, screaming as he went down. We'll see you use some of that silver for caps. I expect the music to stop if this were the Hip, but they just keep on playing. Either they didn't see the punch, or they just don't care. I think it's time to go. No kidding. The Sable is packing his things as well. Some other time, gentlemen. But I sort of want to see what happens. Not with being trapped upstairs, if this turns into a bigger scuffle. A group of men already crowding at the bottom of the ladder. Hey, let us down, or else we'll come down anyway. They scatter. Nick lets Shane climb down first, but he descends surprisingly fast. I can still hear the men shouting behind us. I will find you for this, you bag of shit. Worth every penny, pretty boy. Ooh, pretty boys. As they land and turn, I already see Chang and Yao heading for the door. I feel the floorboard shake as Nick hits the ground behind me. We're all outside before we know it. Yao hisses at us. Walk, do not run. Not until we get to the road. That seems interesting. Why would he need to run? By the time the barn is a distant image in the background, we're all hollering. That was ridiculous. Do fights happen like that all the time? Frequently enough, but they don't tend to escalate so fast. Nick, he got us out of there real quick. I know how to make an exit. The size of your ass saved us. Now hold on. Tonight, I'm most grateful for it. Chang rolls his eyes. This is where our paths part tonight. I wish you all a less eventful evening. Yao and Nick wish him a good night as he splits off into another direction, blending into the dark fairly quickly. But I'm glad he's gone. I don't want him to know more about me than he already does. Not until I know more myself. Twitchy fella. It is impolite to say that about the weasel folk, Sam. Really? More like he was off in a hurry is all I mean. Which, more importantly, means just the three of us are alone again. So we are. He jerks his head towards me. I've decided to share what I know with him. I knew you would, with some time. He's dumb as rocks, but he has shown me his grit. Excuse you. You'll have to learn a lot in a short amount of time if we want to be clean. What we need is back in the bunks, inside my locker. Sometimes I really have to think about a sentence while I'm reading it. Won't it be a bit late to do anything by then? Night is the best time we have to accomplish anything. It will be suspicious if we all miss early lunch break. Exactly. Man, you get early lunch break? Walk from the stag to our bunks. The walk from the stag to the bunks takes at least 30 minutes. I'm chilly and feeling a little chaffed by the time we reach it. Once we're inside, do not bring your voice above a whisper. I believe that most of the men in the bunks would not be able to understand us, but we should not take any unnecessary risks. Nobody can know what we're doing, even the parts that might seem banal. Once you step inside, Yao fishes for a key out of his pocket and slides it into a numbered locker in the hall entryway. He slides out what looks like to be a packet of waxy paper. Then he beckons me into the room full of bunks, where the stale, acrid scent hits me again. I see a few shapes tossing and turning on their bunks. One of them is lying on their back, doing something. It turns out that what Nikolai told me about was true about some of them not caring about no privacy. For fuck's sakes, I swear I can read. It's something I haven't seen before, but it still makes you wince. Mostly since they won't be cleaning themselves up immediately after. Nikolai is waiting on his bunk with a lit candle in the holder. He's taking up half the bed, but me and Yao manage to squeeze it together. Then he shuts us in with a thick curtain. The tiger tilts his head to whisper into my ear. Maps. I guess one is one level and the other's the other level? What you see is everything I have learned about the mines. Let's set face. I have managed to trace over official layouts without nobody noticing. But I also added my own layouts to this. The ones that I know they do not know about. Or at least think. This is the main entrance to Site C, where I took you during the first day. I'm wondering if we're going to have to remember this. It annexes into a hexagonal room over here. Then, you can follow the tunnel to where Jack is, or was. He clears his throat. Found when you follow the shaft down vertically. This places you on the second floor. I see. There's a series of tunnels that connects you back to the elevator, which can reach any level of the mine using a winch mechanism, which can lead back to the surface. But the opposite direction leads outdoors from the second level, where the opening is concealed by a boulder. I imagine you have used this entrance before? Intimately. Then Did you not notice this? His digit glides away from the exit and follows the tunnel's inside, until it takes a sudden turn south. North. North, right? The hidden tunnel within the hidden tunnel within a hidden tunnel. Plans within plans within plans. His digit circles around the area, making a spiral pattern. That is where the real gold is. Inside of the natural maze. And here's the proof. He places something the size of a peanut on the page. It mostly looks like charcoal-colored rock, but embedded in the center is a thick chunk of shining metal. Al presses into it, and the glittering metal bends like putty. I don't think that's how gold coins work. You'll spend the next 2 hours remembering the natural maze, and both the exits in and out of mine. Like, it's not really a maze. You know? 2 hours? There's no way I'm gonna learn to remember this in 2 hours. Nor do I expect you to. You'll study this map every night this week for at least 2 hours until our job is finished. And that is the first of your tasks. What's the point of making me do that? Because you will not always have this map. And knowing it will make your job much easier. Before you ask him to do anything of that, he should see level 3. That would be wise. Vapors, caved, flooded... Flight passage? Here it is. Thank you, Yao. Sam, this is where you and I will be working for the next week. It's the lowest charted section of Site C, so it's the least understood, which makes it the most dangerous. Wait, hasn't this mine been open since the 1800s? Shouldn't the mine be deeper than 3 levels? I suppose I've never thought of that. Although, since we were told that Site C was the newest addition to mines, we also know that the bosses lie. It may be true that Site C is the newest addition, but we still don't know how old it is. And we know that there are delays on level 3. More than there should be. You're more clever than I thought, Mr. Ayers. Thanks, I think. You don't thank me until this map is memorized. Begin. Nick tells me they don't have to get it all the first time, but I can feel the tiger's gaze at me as I flip through the pages, trying my best not to smudge any of the hard black lines. It's a whole lot easier for me to remember when it interests me. But when nothing is open to interpretation, and when there's just wrong and right details, that's when I start to feel the rocks tumble around my head. I flip these pages until I am dizzy, and tell them that I have had enough. I look up into their faces, expecting to see judgment or disappointment, but all I can discern from either of them is faces of urgency and fear. Nick puts out the light, and the 3 of us sit for a while, like we're all tired from just trying to lift something heavy. Bones creak as some of the other men in the shacks toss and turn. But we don't hear anything wet tonight, thankfully. Ha ha! Sleep well, men. Yao was the first to stand, taking his map as he padded back to the lockers. Tomorrow will be long. Every day is long, friend. I stand up too, thinking I should add something, but Nick made himself comfortable, resting sublime with his arms behind his head. Is there something you want to tell me? I rubbed the back of my neck, feeling the pressure there, and let out a breath of air. No, not really. Scared I'll fuck up is all. He shrugs. Knowing you, you probably will. Thanks. No plan's perfect. We just have to respond when things get hard. We have to be smooth. I think back and forth to our prior experiences with Will and Frown. I don't think either of us are smooth, Nick. Come. God frowns on liars. And I'm smooth as peanut butter, Samuel. No, you're more like the chunky kind. Ian returns with a very confused look on his face. What? It was nothing. He opens one eye and looks my direction. Go to sleep, Samuel. Well, if you're gonna fuss about it. If this is fussing, then I'll fuss. And we won't be here if you wake up to wake you up if you sleep in. Oh, right. As I climb into my bunk, I remember now how we're not supposed to walk together in the morning. I sit in my bed for a while, doing my best to make myself comfortable, fluffing the hard, flat pillow behind my head. And then I think of something else to ask again. They got a cock on the farm nearby to crow to wake us up, or will there be a pistol shot? Okay. I was like, wait, what's this about cock? It's a different type of cock. But I can already hear his heavy snores from down below. So I shut my eyes and try to sleep through it. But it's so long before I wake up again. A whole damn chorus of snores meets my ears. Die. I blink from that sudden loud vocalization that's still ringing in my ears. Then I just sit up and look around. The cabin is completely dark, and everybody seems like they're either under their covers or behind their shades. Wherever it was, it sounded like a clear, deep, crisp voice, like nobody I've ever heard before. It was was it somebody talking in their dreams? Or was it just something I dreamed myself? I can't really determine the source of the sound, so I try to close my eyes again. You all deserve to fucking die. My eyelids fling open. That one was a yell so loud it shook the entire cabin. Somebody had to wake up from that. But the snoring continues. I feel my heart beat in my neck and stare at the ceiling. Whoever it was sounds so angry. I feel like I should be able to recognize the voice like that, but there is nobody in my life who came to mind. So, am I dreaming it? Some of my clients told me that dreams can happen when you're awake. Maybe this is what was happening to me. I turned my head in the direction of where I thought the noise was coming from, because I can't see shit. How can you not see shit? Number 1, I have good night vision. Number 2, you're a cat, so you should have extra good night vision. Number 3, I think you have, moonlight through the windows. No movement down on the floor either, nor out of the window. Well, whatever. I really need to be asleep right now. So I shut my eyes again, expecting another shout at ass o'clock in the morning. But it never comes. So I relax again and feel myself drift off finally. Wow. This really is worse than I thought it'd be. Some idiot is playing Reveille on the trumpet. Last night wasn't the worst night's sleep I had had, but I can feel my body had only just found a way to be cozy, and it was cut short. And for what? For nothing. By a brassy bugle that sounds more like it's being blown by a man's ass cheeks than his mouth. But maybe somebody else besides me got fed up and shoved it there. Ha, got him. I just keep my eyes shut, want to catch more sleep, but the sheets are rustling all around me, and the voices around me are getting rowdy. I think I fade in and out of sleep for a while, before I feel something big and heavy on my arm shaking me. I look to see a massive pair of brown eyes staring at me, making me flinch. You have about 5 minutes before you need to get ready. I'm ready. He shook his head. Yeah, and I are leaving now. Wait, why do we need to be ready for anything? Were we not supposed to go to the mine together? The oats in the brown tin of the cupboard by the sink are mine. Make sure that you eat. I push his arm off me, and he's gone. The pressure behind my ears is building up again, and my head is throbbing. But eventually, I manage to roll out of bed. I take Nick's advice and make myself some oats and water from the hot kettle he left on the stove, but I feel guilty eating his food. I'll buy some for him later. A funny feeling comes over me when I walk this road alone with strangers. Old memories fill my head. Before, I had Nick to make sure I didn't push myself too hard in that dry heat. Or Will to shake his head and then smile at me when I did something foolish. Would you just be walking with these guys? I remember nearly clipping myself by letting the minecarts slide backwards during a coal haul like it was today. I remember what one of my coworkers said. God must want me dead to put me with a man as slow as you. Well, maybe he was right. I ain't ever saw him again after that. But I didn't need to hear that to know I didn't belong here. Yet here I was, at the mouth of a mine, feeling the wind against me as I followed a half-dozen men into the dark. Spooky. They told me I should stand in the elevator room. It was easy enough to find. I couldn't forget that room if I tried. A few other men are standing around, expectant. I don't recognize any of them. Top of the morning, men. I hear a voice. The voice I heard wasn't one I expected. It was sunny and boyish, but you could almost call it manic too. Look at his manicness right there. A very excitable-looking golden retriever approaches us. Welcome to the CG family. My name is Ben. You'll think of me as your guide today for all you newcomers. He flashes all a smile and tips his cap. Brief though it may be. Now that I've heard him speak, I recognize him as the dog from the stag who got into an argument with the bear. He looks a lot different when he isn't snarling. Mostly all decided are dedicated to the first floor, so if that was mentioned in the debrief, I'll ask you to check in with the foreman on this level. He jerks his head to the building behind us, and all of the men but me waddle in that direction. You're Samuel Ayers, fella? He looks and sounds a bit too familiar to be called me fella. Reckon so. He claps me on the shoulder and squeezes. Then it looks like you're with me, you son of a bitch. Way too over familiar. Just me? Out of the new batch, yeah, but don't you worry about that. There's always more. He hops onto the elevator and it swings beneath his feet. Well, come on. The both of us at the same time? Damn straight. She's roggy, but she's sturdy. I try not to look into the wide chasm below as I close the gap between the platform that we're standing on and the free swinging elevator. Again, this is one of those things where it's like, well, this seems like it could be an easy thing that might not take a long time, or it might be something that could take a while. Well, last episode was 34 minutes. I think we can shave that off, at least for now. We'll just save it here. Sorry that I'm, doing this stuff, but it's like, this game has a lot of different scenes on like a certain different visual novel, so it's like, well, it could have that thing where it, again, trying to do scenes in visual novels is pretty hard. So, yeah, if you want to see what happens as we go down into the mines, then, you know, I think you should download it and play it. It's 18 plus, you know? I mean, if you're watching this video, you might have seen other videos, and you might know that it is 18 plus. And that's going to be the end of this Let's Play. So comment, guys, like, comments, if you like, dislike, tips, as always. If you like my YouTube and like it grow, then please like, subscribe, and share it over. Happy grown, please remember Spain here, and we'll stop control the pet population. And again, I find it funny that it's, I'm not sure if the main character's like just being sarcastic or what, because it's like sunny and boyish and manic too, and oop, wrong way. And then you see this guy who just seems so, hey, how's it going? I'm just here, full of piss and vinegar, I tells you what. But did I do my whole spiel? I hope so. Anyways, spay your animals, and until next time, let's play GamerWolfSix of the Smoke Room, a game that I go into mineshaft with Labradors. I just feel like, you know, it's gonna be an episode before we get out. Somebody might die. Who knows? We'll have to see. Thanks and see ya.